right, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? It's Wednesday, September 28th, 2022. We're going to get started in a couple minutes. Just going to go ahead and send this link out. And then we're going to see what we can find. All right. So I'm not in any trades from yesterday. Starting the day blank, no trades. Going to be looking for new opportunities. I got a few things on my eye. I'm looking at SPX right now. I want to wait till, of course, London to see what it does, but it's in a good place, good position. Could look for potential sales. I talked about this in the open Zoom call yesterday. Y'all missed the open Zoom call. Make sure to join that free signal room. But I'm going to start doing open Zoom calls twice a month. The first week of the month and then the last week of the month. I'm going to start doing open Zoom calls. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I'm looking for SPX sales. Very simple. Why? Until it shows the uptrend's beginning, I'm still going to be looking for sales because we've been in a downtrend since August 16th, as we can see, right? A big drop here. So it could potentially retrace. They already did a slight retracement here, but it could potentially retrace to right here. But as of now, it's still pushing down. So I'm going to look for sales. So that's what we're looking at for SPX. Did multiple retests already. So now just waiting for volume. Is already in a good spot. This is one of the best ideal entries for it. So yeah, we're going to be chilling. This is what I'll be looking at for SL and TP. So it'll be a good, nice 1 to 3 risk to reward trade. We caught this trade right here yesterday, me and the members. And it looks like it's already trying to do its move. It still has this wall right here to break. Already retested the wall right here, like we can see right here. So we're in a good spot. We could enter right now, but it's no rush. I want to wait till London session to see what that 15-minute candlestick wants to do. So we're just going to be chilling for as of now. So while that's doing this thing, let's look at some other pairs I was paying attention to. I'm looking at GBP/USD for possible sells. Because again, when we zoom out and look on the daily time frame and we zoom out, we can see clearly we've been in a downtrend since around June of last year. And it's just been a gradual drop down. So we should be only looking for sales, right? And then we can see right here, it's underneath one of my levels of price. Did the retest in a very good position for a sell. So again, gonna be waiting for the next candlestick to see what it decides to do. And I'll probably put my stop loss. Put it like right here. Honestly, I'm gonna put it like right here. Nice little 1 to 2 risk to reward trade. This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at GU. Then I'm also potentially looking at GBP/CHF. I like how this is looking. Again, same thing on the daily time frame, zooming out and looking at the overall direction of price. We can see again when we zoom out that you can say since March of last year, it's been a nice gradual downtrend. Okay, it's been going down gradually, or you could say it started around here of April or June, wherever you want to count it. It doesn't matter because as you can see, it's just been a downtrend from the get-go. So if everything's saying sells, if everything's a downtrend, who am I to go for buys until it shows me bullish momentum and uptrend, a potential uptrend? You see the zones getting retested, which is a good sign. So again, just going to be waiting for a London session and volume, but I'm going to be looking for potential sales here. This is a good setup in my opinion right here. So just going to be waiting for multiple confirmations and London session to see what these next candlesticks do. And that'll determine if we're going to hop in this trade or not. Could put it right here. Then I could do this 1 or 2. This will be the first checkpoint, but obviously I'd like to see it come to a release right here, to be honest. So we're going to be paying attention to that, seeing what it does. Let's see here. There's a couple other pairs I was looking at. Yeah, so Euro New Zealand. Looking at this again, we caught a huge Euro New Zealand move yesterday, and if I would have kept holding, I'd be up almost 200 pips right now. But it is a-okay. It is what it is. So I didn't enter this trade. We entered this one yesterday. And again, for those that are new to the stream, either joining us on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button, and to join the free signal room. This is the recap of how we did yesterday. ADCHF, 62 pip move. GJ, got 125 pips. Euro New Zealand, we caught 133 pips. All TPs got hit. Euro CHF, we caught 68 pips. AUD New Zealand, we caught 34 pips. GBP AUD, we caught 36 pips. SPX, we caught 4,500 pips. All right. So it was a pretty good day yesterday. Can't complain too much. Can't complain too much. Took a little while for GJ to do his thing, but when volume came into play, like I talked about in yesterday's live stream, it ended up doing what I knew it was going to do. So that is how yesterday went. All right, so we ended the day 6-0. Every trade had every TP except one of them, which was GPAUD. This is the only one that didn't hit all TPs, but it was still a good day. We still made money, and all our trades went into profit. So that's the most important thing. Now, I would like to get another Euro New Zealand buy. I was talking about this in an open Zoom call last night. Isn't a perfect place for a perfect entry. I'd like to see it get possibly lower to around right here or here. But again, just going to be patiently waiting. Not entering right now. I'm going to wait to see if it goes a little bit lower, but it looks like a stack on top of this lower price right here, which is fine. Not tripping too much about that. Just going to keep an eye on it. Not in a rush to jump into any trades. We are up for the week. And again, it's not even London session yet. So no rush. These are just trade ideas. Price still has plenty of time to come to where I want it to go. So I'm not tripping too much about that. So yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on these pairs right here. See what they're doing. Now, US30, I'll be looking for US30 sales too. Obviously, the SPX is dumping. I'm expecting US30 to dump, so I could potentially enter. I want to enter when it breaks the zone again, because again, it's just been slowly breaking new lows. So still going to be going for sales, but waiting for volume, of course. Also understanding that US30 has been this low since 2 years ago, literally 2 years ago from now. 2 years ago from this day, in November, and it's almost November in a couple of days. This is the last week of September, so it's been almost exactly 2 years since it's been this low. So a lot of things can happen. It's going to struggle a little bit. That's why we wait for volume, so we have the momentum on our side. But this is what I would like to see happen. I'd like to see it fill this gap up right here. That'd be great. Could put it like right here. Let's see. Could put it right there. I could put it like right here. Yeah, I might just put it right here for now. But I'd like to see it fill this gap up because I don't think it's filled this gap up yet. Yeah, so I like to see it fill this gap up and then go from there. So I'm going to wait for it to push underneath the zone, which is very close to doing. Did enough retracements right here. But as you can see, very similar thing in a downtrend. So all those people that were going for buys earlier this week, I talked about it on Monday's live stream. Simply said we're going to wait for price to decide what it's going to do and decide to keep on pushing. So that's why I was going to go with the trend, because as of now, it's still a lot of bearish momentum down. You see the lower lows, the lower highs. Now we're right here. So I would like to see it break down here, continue here, and then potentially do retracement right here at some point, and then continue sales. That's what I like to see, but that's still looking into the future. But you have to know all the possibilities price can do and all the directions price can go and where it would be doing that and when it would be switching up. You got to know all this stuff. So that's why I'm discussing and breaking down, because all this stuff is very important. You have to consider all these things. That way, when some of these things happen, you won't be as surprised. You'll be understanding what's going on. You'll be like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. Or it's just doing this. So that's my ideas there. So I would be looking for this. I missed the US30 sales yesterday, so I'm definitely going to try to pay attention more today so I don't miss that. Definitely. This is what I'll be looking at. Nice little 1 to 2 risk to reward trade, possibly more, but just going to be waiting for price to come to me. Same thing with NAS100. I missed this NAS trade, but it is what it is. You can't catch every trade. At least the trades we caught went our way. That's what's most important. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at too. I could just put it right here. Probably will just put it right there. Nice 1 to 3 risk to reward. Waiting for price to break down under here. And then the retest. I like to break it. I'd like to see it break these levels, retest against these levels. So I like to see it break these levels and retest against these levels right here. Then continue to push down. That's what I like to see. But again, this is just a trade idea. Haven't entered any trades yet. Going to be waiting for London session to start to see exactly what is going on and what we can hop into. Now SPX is right here. It's a good spot. So again, not jumping into it yet, but it did still continue to drop, which is a good sign. And it's underneath this level of traffic here. So very much might be entering this soon, depending on what the next candlestick does. But things are looking good for SPX. So let me see how these are doing here. Cool. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, and I missed the gold sell too, which was unfortunate, but looking at it now, probably will leave it alone unless it comes back to like, hasn't been this low in a while too. I'll probably wait till it comes underneath this level here, or if it retraces up a little bit to potentially 1632. I might just keep an eye on it, but as of now, I'm gonna just leave it alone. Yeah, not too rushed, not going to be too greedy for trades, but Definitely going to be paying attention to it for retracement. If it retraces it back up to here, I might look for some sales. But as of now, I'm just going to leave it alone. Because again, same thing. If we zoom out, if we truly zoom out, we can see price has been in a downtrend since March. So if it's been going down consistently, why would I look for buys? All right, and this is a lot of time why a lot of times people get stopped out of trades and things like that, or their stop losses will just get shot through, is because they're not looking on a big enough time frame. So that's why it's very important to be looking at the larger time frames so you see exactly what's going on. So SPX is doing a nice retest, no issues there. That's good for us. Let's see what else is going on. But yeah, as of now, it's the only really setups I see. JPY, if it retraces up a little more, maybe if it comes back up to here. But it already hit this level, so it's potentially going to keep dropping down. So we might have just missed that opportunity, which is fine. Euro GBP. And we have about 9 minutes, almost 8 minutes until London session. So we're going to see what's going on there. So we're in the uptrend of Euro GBP. We've been in the uptrend, you could say, around here. August, so about a month. Had a weird candlestick on Tuesday. Yeah, that's Tuesday. No, Monday, I should say. But against the uptrend is on top of this level of price on top of this zone right here. So again, we'll be waiting for these next few candlesticks to see exactly if price wants to stay on top of this level of this zone, treating it as a support level. And if it does, we're going to look for buys. So that's what we're going to be looking at right there. And so far it's looking good. Stacking on top of this level of price. Want to see a stack on top of this level. And then definitely we'll be looking to enter. Even though we could potentially enter the next couple of candlesticks as well. And just put the stop loss at this wall right here. Nice 1 to 3 risk to reward trade. All right, so that's a nice little setup. So that's the things I'm looking at right now. So again, just waiting for the next couple candlesticks to see what price does. Not in too big of a rush to jump in any trades. Just going to be patiently waiting and looking. So this is a good sign too for this candlestick. So let's see what the London session candlestick does. Hopefully it's a retest candle. And it retests this lower price here, like I was talking about before. Retest that level and then push down, and with volume break through this wall here, break through this last previous low, and this will be the first checkpoint here. But I want to go zone to zone, but I definitely want to try to hit here today. So that is the trade idea for this. As you can see, did a retest, nice little trickle down from the retest of the zone. Bam. So we could have entered right here, but again, I wasn't even up at this time. I was asleep, and I have my own set of rules. I like to trade strictly London and New York. Sometimes I'll enter a trade a little bit early, like 2:30, 2:45, but for the most part, I like to wait until at least the London session candlestick. That's just a preference, but again, I'm not too dumb. If I see a move like really happening, I will enter. So I do see some setups, but again, gonna wait for at least the next 5-minute candlestick, which is about to appear in about 30 seconds. But yeah, these are the main pairs I am looking at. Also looking at GBP CAD for potential sells. Same reason. When we zoom out, we see we've been in a downtrend, right? We've been in a downtrend since February. So basically all year, just like most currency pairs have been in bearish trends So, and we're right here at the zone. So I would like to see it at least come into the middle of the zone. But I am looking for sales. And then when we go on the smaller time frame here, we already see it's retesting, which is perfect. So I'm going to wait for this next candlestick, as well as volume from London into New York, to see what's going to bring this trade back down to the downside. I want to at least see it hit here. Stop loss is going to be above this level of traffic right here. So this will be a nice 1 to 5 risk to reward if it can break through this wall here and this level of traffic here. You can very much come to here. I'd like to see it come to here though. So that is the trade idea there. So again, so we're just going to wait for the next candlestick to see what it does. It's looking good right here, but when it hits this level, I want to see a nice little retest. Then we're going to enter on the retest, and then with momentum and the zone on our side, see if we can break these levels of price and catch some pips. That is the game plan there. And it looks like Euro New Zealand is still just steady pushing, which is fine. If it doesn't come back down, just going to leave it alone. Not too big of a deal. Not tripping too much about that. But yeah, things are looking like they're about to make their move. It looks like volume is pushing in, which is fine. That's good for us. Like how Euro CHF is looking too. It's in a nice spot. So yeah, I want to see it retest with this next candlestick. And then potentially I will call some potential sells again, because I personally got worked out this trade, but I called this trade out yesterday for the members. Some members might be still holding, but I'm personally not still holding. So depending on what these next candlesticks look like, I might try to hop in. We'll see. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right here. So I'm just going to be paying attention to these. London session is starting in about 2.5 minutes. Let's see here. I'm going to make sure I don't miss this drop. It looks like it's already starting. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you can't enter a little bit of London. Is what it is. I'm going to see what this next candlestick does. And depending on what it does there, will determine if I enter or if I simply just wait for the next retracement, because retracements do happen. But then again, it could very much do what it did yesterday and just continue to dump. But that is fine. I'm going to wait to see what this next candlestick looks like in 2 minutes, because there are other pairs going on. And again, there's still a whole full day ahead of us. I'm not too worried about, if I missed the entry or something like that. Your GBP is pushing up. So yeah, your GBP is looking good. Yeah, so SPX, so USD, the USD pair has already started to dump down. Was trying to hold it out, should have just entered, but it is fine. So I'm going to be paying attention to these other pairs at the time being. So I like how Euro GBP is looking. So I'm going to be looking at Euro GBP, GBP CAD, and GBP CHF, because as you can see, 1 minute until London starts and you see it's retracing, so that is perfect. This one, I like to see it retrace when it hits this wall. So I'm going to see what that next candlestick looks like from there. There's the alarm. So let's get into it. Let's see here what this is doing. kind of like how this is. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and enter GBPCHF. I'm going to enter that right now. So I'm entering GBPCHF. I'm probably going to call out a bunch of signals in a second. But again, do not over leverage if y'all do enter, but I'm going to enter. Go ahead and enter this. It could retrace up some, but I'm going to go ahead and enter this. Stop loss would be 1.0730. But yeah, that's what I personally just enter that. So I'm in that as we speak. Going to see what that does. SPX. Let's see what SPX is doing. So yeah, SPX just did a retracement, which is good for us. Only thing is US30 is not underneath the zone. This is underneath the zone. So could be at a potential worst, but it is this wall right here. And it's looking like it's struggling to break this wall. So this would be one of the better opportunities to enter. So I'm going to keep an eye on this to see how it's reacting. But as you can see, it is struggling to break this wall. So that's good for us. That's going to work out in our favor. So I'm going to see if it's going to continue to push up more. So we can be a little less drawdown, or it's going to reverse. But I am looking for sales on that. And it looks like it is struggling. So stop loss for this would be 36.60. I like how GBP has doing. We just did a retest. Let's see. It's still retesting. So yeah, let me go ahead and get the signal ready for GBPCHF because, like I said, I did enter that one. It's the only one I entered as of now. But I'm going to get that signal ready and put it into the free signal room channel. GU did a nice retracement too, just like SPX, which is good for us. So yeah, it's still pushing up. So I'm going to see, get into right now. But it's 2 minutes until the next 5-minute candlestick. So I'm going to see what that's doing. But while that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get this signal ready to post in the free signal room. So give me 1 second. Yes, I'm just typing the signal in real quick. So give me 1 second. Like I said, stop loss is going to be 1.0730. I'm just about to get the TPs in. Let's see here. I'd like to see it come to here. Yeah, so I'm just putting the TPs in right now, just calculating them. But I did enter this. So I'm about to post it. I just posted it into the free signal room right now. So now that that's in, I'm going to be looking at these other pairs. So looks like SPX to do 5 minutes reversing back down. So it is looking like a nice little setup right there. So very much so. I'm going to call this out in a second. I just want to look at another pair real quick. GBP New Zealand is shooting up. Kind of shooting up. Let's see. 16. 9, 11, 16. Yeah, so it's a little too high up pip wise. Missed that entry, so definitely gonna be looking for a retracement there, but not gonna worry about that too much. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and enter SPX. I like how it is doing. Like I said, it's still early, so any pips we do catch, make sure to secure them because retracements are bound to happen, especially before New York. But yeah, SPX is looking nice, so I'm gonna go ahead and enter that. See if we can catch a few thousand, a few hundred pips. SL would be 36.6150, or you can do 36.61 or 36.62. But I'm gonna put in. Well, it's moving pretty quick, so if it does another retest on the 15-minute candlestick, I'll put it in. But I did enter SPX, and I want to see at least hit right here, which would be a few hundred pips. But I did enter that. So I'm in GBP and I'm in SPX, and it is pushing as of now. Missed a couple entries. I missed the GBP New Zealand one, but it's fine. So I'm in this. And depending on what the next candlestick does, I will put it in the free signal room. Because again, I don't want to put this trade out when it's already dumping. And then either it's gone too far, and as soon as I call it, that's when the next candlestick is a reversal, retracement, retest candlestick, and then people have worse entries than me, and they're in more drawdown than me, this, that, and the third. I like people to enter as close as possible to me. Of course, obviously that's not always possible because the markets do what the markets are going to do. So you just have to keep that in mind. So I know the USD pairs are going down. I missed the AUD USD drop here. I really wanted to get into that one. I missed it. It is what it is. So what I'm going to do is look for the next best thing. USD looks like it's continuing to push down, so I'm going to look for the next best entry. Could put it right here. Could put it right here. Probably going to put it right here. Just for now. Good setup. So if price continues to break down under here, I might enter, but again, you see this huge red candlestick, which is why I wanted to enter right here. But I was asleep, is what it is. So I'm gonna look for the next best entry there. So we got a new 5-minute candlestick. Looks like it's going to retest. So if it retests some more, if it retraces up, I'm going to call the signal out. And it looks like it's retracing. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the signal ready. Just looking at GBPCHF. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so just looking at GBPCHF. It's trying to push down. Still close to entry, so not too worried about that. Yeah, the thing dropped a few hundred pips. I want to call it out though, but then if people enter right here, that's to be a 1-on-1. We enter like right here, so if it retests, then I will call the signal out. Which I wouldn't be surprised if it does a nice retest right there. But gonna be looking at these other pairs. I like how GU's looking. Missed the GBP New Zealand buy. And we barely missed that too, but it's fine. Let's see. USCHF, yeah, USCHF started dumping. That's fine. I'm gonna wait for a retest if it decides to do so. If not, not the end of the world. Let's see what these USD pairs are doing. This thing is still dumping. Yeah, I can see that dumping. At least to right here. Yeah, see, this is why I didn't want to call it out. They could have made some money though, but I want to see how it reacts to this wall here. So anyone did enter on the live stream. This was the first TP, so it just got hit. So I could have called it out in the signal room, but again, you got to think about all the possibilities. Yeah, it could have continued to potentially rip, but it could retrace right here, or it could have retraced when it hit this level, and that's what I was waiting for before I called the signal out. Just like I waited for the retrace and retest right here, but as you can see, it just started to dump instant. Now, if it was a slow thing and it was struggling right here, I would have called the signal out, but it literally just ripped right past it. So that is why. But again, there's still opportunities. US30 just broke underneath the zone. So definitely going to be looking for US30 setups. So don't trip too much. And again, we're just 13 minutes into London. There's still plenty of time to catch some pips. So I'm not tripping too much about that. So I'm going to be looking at US30. 2 minutes, the new 50-minute candlestick appears. That's going to be very important. Going to be looking at NAS as well. SPX jumping is already in the middle zone. So this is good stuff for us. Gold's ripping too. The goal was too far for me to even want to enter, so I'm not tripping too much about that one personally. GU still trying. GBCHF is pushing, which is a good sign. Looks like it's dropping right now, which is a good sign. First TP is 1.0585. 1.0585, which would be in a few pips, about 5 pips away. SPX just took off, but that's good for us because that means we can look for some NAS100 and US30 setups. So that is a-okay with me. So what I'm looking at for NAS is the SL to be 11.2, we could say 11.240, right? Yeah, but I'm literally putting the signal in as we speak, so keep that in mind, because again, I'm looking at sells right here. So those in live stream, I am entering. I am about to put in sales for US30 and NAS100. I'm in SPX. This candlestick's looking good. It just broke through that level, so I want to see it retest this level. But yeah, things are looking good for a sell. So doing retest, which is no surprise there. SPX retesting NAS. All these are doing retest of that level that just got broken. But that level getting broken is a good sign for us. Yeah, GB New Zealand just ran off. Huge candlestick. Just ran off on us. But these are live markets. That is just the reality of it. Which is why you can't really freak out too much or try to chase the trades. You just have to wait for the next best opportunity. So I got the NAS signal already. Now I'm going to get the US30 signal ready. Yep, so let me get the US30 signal ready now. SL for US30 would be about 29. We could say 29,140. Yeah, let's just do 29,140. All right. So let's retest this level here. If we continue to respect that and continue to break down, that'd be very good. But just looking at how this week's been going, future-wise, we haven't really been able to catch any sales until into New York session. But things are looking good. And profit on SPX. See the 5-minute candlestick right here. So just gonna be seeing what happens. Yeah, but just so that coming, it is Wednesday. Volumes will be pumping into the markets a little bit more easier during the middle week compared to on Monday and Tuesday. A few trades ran off on us, but that is fine. Going to be just looking at the charts for future opportunities. But as of right now, just chilling, just watching the charts. Not in a rush to enter too many trades. Really want to wait for multiple confirmation candlesticks before we hop into things. Let's see here. GPAUD. Looks like it's retracing back up to the zone. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let's see what SPX is doing. So it's still respecting that wall, which is a good sign for us. And it's respecting the wall right here as well, which is a good sign. US30 is trying to come back down, but it's still retesting this wall right here. So everything is doing the same thing, right? We see this candle structure right here. We see this wall right here, same thing. And then we see that wall right here, same thing. So they're all moving very similar. Want to see SPX stay underneath this wall here. And the next 15-minute candlestick, after this retest, I like to see it push back down because it already, again, hit the first goal, which is breaking the previous lows right here. So I want to see if it can continue the move because Monday and Tuesday was really a rangy market for SPX. So I want to see if that's going to change and if things are going to pick back up since it is the middle of the week. And we can see that right here. Things are pushing back down, which is good for us. Now, I was looking at GU. Since those pairs dropping, let's see what GU is doing. Sure enough, GU is doing that. So, again, I'm waiting for the next 15-minute candlestick, but I'm going to go ahead and get the signal ready. That way, if I do decide to enter, I can just post that into the free signal room. And those on watching the YouTube channel, YouTube live stream, this is your first time, make sure you hit that like button and you can join the free signal room. First link in the description. So for this trade, I'm looking at like a SL for right above this wall right here for 1.08. Let's say 0830, right? Now let's see what these are doing right here. These are dropping nice. Dropping very nice. So let me hold that thought and new 5 minute just started. Want to see what the next 15-minute candlestick does, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop them because I like how they're looking. So NAS TPs and details, I just dropped in the free signal room. Bam. The US30, I just sent that signal out to the members. So again, all the signals are going to be here. When TPs get hit, you're going to get notified, things like that. So make sure to have my notifications on for that channel. So we're in SPX right now. We're in NAS. We're in US30. We're in GBP CHF. And looking at potential GBP USD shorts or sells. And there's a potential other pairs I'm looking at too, but just waiting for price to go where I want it and for volume to pick up into the markets. So that's the main thing right there. I like the GBP cash setup too. So going paying attention to this as well. Hour and a half to the new 4 hour comes out, which is fine. Let's see what some other Euro pairs are doing. Eurocast seems to be pushing up. 318. About 30 pips down from here. I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Missed the last potential entry, the last 15-minute candlestick. So want to see how it reacts to this wall here, the next 15-minute candlestick, to determine if we can enter that. Because as you can see, a bunch of these pairs are doing retracements. Which is no problem. Yes, we're going to see what's going on there. But for as of now, we're just going to be chilling, looking at the trades we're in, holding the trades we're in, and just going to be observing to see what's going on. Two minutes until the next 15-minute candlestick. This 15-minute candlestick is going to be very important. So again, this was a retrace candle, so this candlestick is going to confirm whether it's going to stay underneath the zone and shoot back down, or if it's going to shoot back up, hit this wall here, or continue to range. Because if we go back to Monday, this was Monday, whole bunch of ranging. Caught a quick sell here, ranging, missed the sell, drop on Tuesday, ranging. So wanted to see the drop continue. So that's what we're going to see is what's going to happen. And that's what we're going to see what, if that is going to happen, I should say, in about like 30 seconds. CHF. CHF. Same setup. We got the sell yesterday. Held it for just about a day. Struggled, did a lot of ranging, but finally ripped and broke through yesterday. So could potentially look for another setup right here for ADCHF. Nice 1-to-4 risk to reward. So we're going to see what the next candlestick does right here. New candlestick. I'm paying attention to this one. See what this does. So this is a good look so far. It's respecting the level so far. Just got to break past this wall again. And it breaks past here. One, we're going to be in profit, and two, that's a very good sign that it will continue downwards. But again, we did enter pretty early. Again, like I said, yesterday and Monday, didn't really enter futures or indices until New York session, but that was also because It took a little while to break those previous levels of traffic, but as you can see, it finally broke through all of them. So the downwards momentum should really be starting. But again, volume has to play a big part in that as well. So we want to see if we were able to catch some pips before New York on here, as we see it's trying as we speak. So just got to be patient and see what it's going to do. Because again, should have properly calculated your risk. You should only be risking what you're okay with losing. And we're going to hold till SLs or TPs get hit. Those that enter SPX, we're still floating in profit. No issues there. So we're just waiting to see what these pairs do. And also waiting to see if GBPCHF is going to continue to drop. That's what we're doing right now. So still have a few other pairs I'm keeping an eye on, but again, we're just 30 minutes into London, so the main thing we're waiting on is volume to pick up. Yeah, so I'm chilling. It's pushing up a little bit. But I'm not tripping too much. Still gonna be chilling. See what it's gonna do. Yeah, it's really retracing back up. So just gonna see if it's going to come back down later into the day. Speaking of coming back down, GN retraced a little bit, but still too high for me. And what I mean by that is, if we just look at the prices at right now, it's at 91.31. It was to retrace all the way back to the zone. That is 90.84. That is a lot of pips, not including the stop loss. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you want to enter as close to the zone as possible. That way you have the least amount of drawdown, which is what we did here. We entered right at the zone, so we're in the least amount of drawdown possible, and we'll be able to catch the most amount of pips possible, just like SPX. We entered over here, this candlestick right here, close to the entry point as possible, waiting for the retest. Causing a few pips, but it's retracing because, again, it's not New York session yet. We're just an hour into London. Not even an hour into London, 30 minutes into London. Very normal for this to happen and for this to go on. We see it all the time. We see it happen all the time. So not too worried about that. Just looking at the other pairs right now to see if there's any other potential opportunities. Euro GBP still ranging, trying to see if it's going to stay on this side or not. Let's see here. UPUSD still ranging. JPY. I'm gonna mess with that. CHF. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to see a little small repeat up yesterday, which is just really waiting for volume, which is not a problem. Because again, we saw some moves happen quick. Other moves might take a little bit into later into London, or sometimes it'll take pre-New York and New York for the move to start. Good example of that is GJ. Yesterday, we were in drawdown all London session, and TPs didn't really get hit until this drop right here. But we were in drawdown all London session, just ranging. Then when volume finally picked up, it did it what I wanted to see it do, and we caught over 100 pips. So that's just the power of holding till S or TP gets hit and going with overall direction of price. So We see prices still struggling to break this wall, which is a good sign for us. So again, we're going with the overall direction of price. We enter at the best time possible. So now it's just up to volume to do its thing. Okay, that's all we can really do. Don't need to get too stressed about the trade. Don't need to overthink things and worry too much, because like I always tell my members and my students, we do not control the markets. That's why it's very important for us to go with the direction of price and to find the best entry points possible. We have to let price do its thing. All right. It's just like when you're investing in a stock or crypto. You don't, well, I hope you don't stare at it every day like, come on, go up, go up, go up, go up. You just let it do its thing. You might forget about it for a couple weeks, go back to it, things like that. Obviously, we're not holding these trades for a couple weeks. We're just holding it for the day. But it's the same thing. You have your SL put, you have your TPs put. Sometimes it's going to take a while to do its thing. So you just got to let it do its thing. Don't worry about it too much. And of course, the most important thing, hold till SL or TP gets hit. That is the most important thing. Because just think about how many times have you been in drawdown? Like, just think about the old me. I'm talking about we were literally in drawdown. Let me pull it up for y'all, because some of y'all ain't gonna believe it until y'all see it. So let me pull it up for y'all. Let me find. Here we go. Call this trade out at 3:08 a.m. EST. 8 minutes into London session yesterday, I called this trade out. Right. Let's just scroll. Right. Let's just scroll. Okay. TP1 did not get hit until 9:31 a.m., an hour and a half into New York session. That's what all this ranging was. We're ranging until until New York session started. TP1 did not get hit until 9:31 a.m. Keep that in mind. All right. Let's keep scrolling. TP2 didn't get hit until 12 p.m. Right. But after TP2 got hit, guess what? TP3 got hit. All TPs got hit. Excuse me. And now we're here now, 100 plus pips in profit. That's all because we went with the overall direction of price. We didn't freak out, let price do its thing, and just waited. And because we waited, we made some money. Instead of getting impatient, closing, thinking the trade's taking too long, this, that, and the third, we ended up making some money. So I just want to point that out, and can't stress that enough, okay? Because before you enter a trade, all that thinking, you should have did all that thinking and stuff before you enter the trade. So after you enter the trade, best thing to do is just hold to SL or TP. Don't over leverage, of course. Risk the same amount each trade. That way your losses and your wins will stay consistent. And your strategy should be high winning strategy. So you should be winning more trades than you're losing. If not every day, every week, you should be winning more trades or be up in wins than losses. So your wins should cancel out and should cancel out your losses for one, and then you should still be up for the week regardless. That is the goal of trading. And me trading like that has really improved, again, my results. Not just profits, but results in general. So keep that in mind, everybody watching, all right? That's the right mindset to have. The right mindset to have is going with direction of price, understanding these things that you do not control the markets. So do not stress about things you can't control. That's why it's very important to have a good, consistent strategy and to have rules in place that you do not break. Okay, repeat that again. You need to have rules in place that you do not break. You need to have a daily goal. You need to have a weekly goal. You need to have a percentage that you're risking per trade, this, that, and the third, and you need to stick to that. Now, I recommend risking 1 to 5% of your account per trade, because just think about it. You're risking 10% of your account per trade. Depends on how many trades you take. If you take like 3 trades, you win 2, lose 1. That's not too bad. But just to be safe, on the safe side, and again, trading you're not going to withdraw every day. Okay, you got to start day by day, but it's really a week by week, month by month, quarter by quarter thing. Okay, so you got to keep that in mind, especially week by week. There's 5 days out the week. You might have a bad day, but you should have more good days than bad days every week. And investing is a long term thing, anyways. All right, so you got to keep that in mind too. We are investing. It's a quicker way of investing, it's a more flexible way of investing because we can make money when price is going down as well as going up. So that's one of the pros of it. But again, we are investing. So you have to be very calculated with your capital that you're risking. Because again, we're not throwing our money in the markets just to throw it away. We're throwing it into the markets to potentially grow it. So that's why it's important to keep the same set of rules all the time and to follow them as best as you can. But as we can see, price is just ranging right now. Not freaking out too much. Still blue on SPX and a little bit of drawdown on NAS and US30. Not freaking out too much. And again, drawdown is a part of the game. Once you enter a trade, you're automatically put in drawdown. Okay, spread is going to put you in drawdown automatically. So drawdown should not freak you out. Drawdown should not bother you. If drawdown is bothering you, it's 2 things. 1, you over leveraged. 2, you just need to get used to that number on your screen, face reality. Or 3, you're new to trading, so you just don't want to see negative. Who wants to see a negative number on the screen? Who wants to see that they could potentially lose X amount of money? I get it. But you have to understand that 1, scared money don't make no money. But 2, also that if you truly properly risking your account, you will be fine. Okay. Do not freak out too much about it. Do not overthink about it. Don't overthink anything. You just got to be chilling. And when you really start trading like this and really start thinking like this, trading becomes a lot less stressful and it becomes easier to enter trades and especially hold trades during drawdown. Like I said, GJ, we're in drawdown all morning. I just showed y'all in the free signal in drawdown all morning. So it takes a lot of confidence and realization, understanding of the markets to be able to do that. Because a lot of people would have pulled out. A lot of people would have been staring at their phones, freaking out, questioning themselves and all that stuff. So combining all these things together will really help y'all out. So just keep that stuff in mind. Now, price is still retracing up, but that is normal. Because again, like I said, most of all week, we haven't really called any future or NDC pairs until New York. So not really surprised it's ranging, but it's still underneath this wall. So at 1 minute, the next 15-minute candlestick will appear. And I would like to see it drop back down with the next 15-minute candlestick. That's what I would like to see. Will it do it? We're going to find out in just a moment. All right. GPC at the CHF, we can still see it's underneath this lower price right here. And we see that it's still consistently trying to go down. But again, we're waiting for volume. All right. So, which is another reason why, New York is so popular, because literally everybody's up, everybody's trading. Most volume is during that time. Everything's open at that time. Because again, there's stock traders, the stock market, things like that. These things are closed right now. They don't open up until New York session, which is another reason why price is ranging like it's doing. But again, I'm not too worried about it. I do believe it's going to go down because we are in a downtrend. I do believe it's going to go down. But you got to just put all these things into account. Now, what was I just looking at? I was looking at... Oh, that's what I was looking at, GPCHF. Yeah, so these are trying to push down. These are shooting up still. Damn. It is what it is. Still has this wall right here, so I'm still holding though. Not too worried about it. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, so we just see a lot of ranging. Not too surprising. So it looks like it's going to be another day of just holding the trades we entered already, and then the rest of the trades or rest of the opportunities probably going to be looking at or finding New York session, which is fine with me. But I just like to go into London. I like to wake up in London and try to find some opportunities because, like we saw, some moves happened during London, other moves still need some time before they can come into full effect. Like I'm waiting for GBP CAD still. I like how it's looking, but it's under this wall right here. I'd like to see it push back down some more, possibly break this level right here and stay underneath this level. That'd be great. And then I'll probably enter or look for some quick pips there. GPAUD still ranging. SPX, yeah, I think retracing all the way back up, which is fine. Because with those things retracing, we could possibly find some good entries later into New York for gold. I want to see gold. I haven't traded gold all week. I've been missing those gold trades. I've been missing them last week too. I'm going to try to get back on them and try to pay attention to those and have alerts set up for certain price points so I don't miss those opportunities. Let's see what your CHF's doing. So I kind of like how your CHF is looking. My thing is kind of in the middle of the zone. I don't really like entering in the middle of the zone. Maybe it stays under here. I'm going to keep an eye on it, see what it does. New Zealand, push back down some more, which is good. 91.12. So, yeah, that's why you want to wait. So, now we're at a little better of an entry if we were to look for buys for GP New Zealand. Now, this one's a little bit different. Obviously, you don't see a clear trend going on here. This is one of those charts where price is just ranging, right? So when price is in like a ranging market like this is where these zones come into play as well. But with these trades, it's not really so much following the trend. It's more like it's really support resistance levels, okay? We'd go for buys here because it broke above this level here. It was stacking on top level of price on a smaller time frame. And based on these past few candles, it looks like it's trying to fill up this imbalance. It already filled up the 50 and it looks like it's trying to fill it up all the way, which would be potentially to the zone here, because this is where this wick's at here, this wick at right here. So potentially the zone, or it could fill it up all the way to the top, which is why I was looking for buys. Now we missed the entry, which is fine, but as you can see, price is retracing. A lot of pairs are either ranging right now or in the retracement phase. Like SPX and all of them are in the retracement phase. Ooh, man. Yeah, I probably entered those too early. It happens sometimes. So I'm still holding though. But definitely will, if the SL does get hit, see if later in New York we can make it back. But I'm still going to hold. I'm still holding, I should say. And what was over in GP New Zealand? So I like where this is at right now, because now we're at 91.08 and the bottom of the zone is 90, like 76, 90, 80. So it's right at a good entry. So going to see if it's going to push down more. Going to see what it's going to do. But I do like this setup for a buy. But again, I want to be as close to the zone as possible, so we're in the least amount of drawdown, and we got the best entry possible as well. I put it probably like right here. Nice 1 to 3 risk reward if it comes back down to the zone. But it looks like it's respecting this lower price and stacking on top. So entry might be right here. Still good 1 to 1, which isn't bad. But we're going to see what the next couple candlesticks look like on this pair right here. And so I'm definitely keep an eye on that, especially because the other New Zealand pairs have been shooting up. But as you can see, this New Zealand pair is dropping down too, which means the volume in the New Zealand dollar is picking up as we speak. Okay. And we can see that possibly right here too. We see New Zealand is pushing up because again, the first pair, if you're in a buy, that means the pair on the left is strong. If you're in the sell, that means the pair on the right is strong. Also has to do with trends and things like that. But as we see, New Zealand's first, New Zealand's pushing up, and then we go on GBP New Zealand, where New Zealand is second, and New Zealand is pushing down. And the same thing with Euro New Zealand here. New Zealand is pushing down. Same thing with probably AUD New Zealand, if I can find it. And we see New Zealand is pushing down. So same thing, similar thing with correlating pairs, but these are things you have to, these are good things. Let me not say you have to know, but these are good things to know and to keep in mind when trading, because these will help you be able to catch more pips and also help you find potential other opportunities. So this is good. Like I said, if we would have entered the trade here, or we would have not been there because it was this candlestick. If we would have chased the trade, let's say we entered right here, we'd be in drawdown right now. Let's say we entered right here, we'd be in a lot of drawdown. So that's why it's very important not to chase trades and wait for price to come to you. And as you can see, it's pushing down. So new 5-minute candlesticks about to appear in about 30 seconds. So we're going to see what that does. But my potential is still stacking this lower price. Would be nice if it goes to right here, but necessarily would most likely stay right here, but it could come to right here. That'd be even better. But just have to wait and see what price decides to do. And yeah, SPX, I got worked out of SPX, but price is pushing back up on us. So we are seeing a repeat of Monday and Tuesday, which is fine. Just going to keep that as a mental note to possibly wait into close to New York to enter those trades for the most part. Because the move did start here, missed that trade opportunity and caught it right here, which is cool. Again, like I said, these pairs all follow each other, which is really why I was saying earlier I wanted for US30 to come back down. It did come back down, did retest and reject, but as you can see, it's still in the ranging time of the morning. And it could also, like I talked about before, potentially be starting a lower high because I already broke this level here, already hit this zone right here. So retracement is normal when it hits the bottom of the zone. That happens all the time. But I wanted to see what's going to break and continue to push down. Did not want to do that yet. So we're going to see if it comes back down or hits SL, or later in New York see if we can find another sell opportunity, or if we don't see another sell opportunity and it still continues to push up, either look for sales right here, or look for sales right here, but also mainly wait to see how price reacts when it's at this price here. Is it going to push back down, or is it going to stack on top of price here and push back up? That's what we're going to have to see there. As you can see, it broke the zone right here. Wanted to see continue under that and break down, but it is rejecting that level as of now. Possibly when volume picks back up in New York, we'll see what happens from there. But as of now, looks like it's about to push up and hit our SLs. And then GBP/CHF still ranging and trying. And let's see here. GBP New Zealand, yeah, stacked on a level of price. It's pushing back up. So it could have entered there, but again, the main thing I'm looking at is I want a decent risk to reward ratio. And then also you got to understand the zone setup. Like I said before, we enter right here. Not only is the stop loss right here, right? But the range is right here. So you have enter right here. It's literally maybe a 1-to-1, but a 1-to-1 basically, right? And I like to personally enter trades with at least a 1-to-2 risk to reward minimum. So I'm just going to be holding off on entering that. Because again, it's still early into the morning. Don't feel like you need to jump in a bunch of trades as soon as London starts or as soon as the time you like to trade starts. You really want to wait for the best opportunities and multiple confirmations. This was a slight mistake on my part. I should have waited for another candlestick. Should have waited for the other 15-minute candlestick, but it is what it is. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Isn't going to change the fact that we entered that trade. So just mental notes and notes to write down for future trades. Because again, when trades go your way, you need to understand why they went your way. And when trades don't go your way, you need to understand what went wrong. Well, not what went wrong, but why it went the way it went. So just chilling right now, watching the charts. It looks like nothing else is really going to get started or start to move until a few hours from now. So probably around 6 o'clock my time, things like this get started pre-New York or New York session in general. So AD New Zealand just hit the top of the zone, which is probably why it's retracing down. ADCHF is looking nice. And this is an example of the zones, okay? Look what happened here. Price came down, hit the zone. What happened? Price shot up, right? What happened when price hit the top of the zone here? Shot back down, right? Same thing here. Hit the zone, broke up above it a little bit, broke above it a little, then shot back down, okay? You see the same thing happen with US30, right? Hit the zone here. It went a little bit higher here, but you get the idea. It dropped back down. It didn't go zone to zone. That's the main thing. It went above the zone a little bit, dropped back down, caught the sell here. Went above the zone, dropped back down. Then same thing here. Hit the bottom of the zone. Played around the price here, shot back up, went back down. Again, my mistake. I should have waited for another candlestick, another 15-minute candlestick like I usually do. But I saw SPX was pushing down, so I was like, okay, this stuff's going to push down too. But again, like we talked about earlier, these markets are still closed. There's not a lot of volume until New York session. So it was a premature entry. But again, same thing here. Hit the bottom of the zone, went down a little bit, but retraced back up. So that is why these zones are so powerful and why it's important to go with the momentum of price and with volumes in the markets. That way you can really use these zones to your advantage. But again, most likely was early entry on these. They are still attempting to go back down. We still are in bearish momentum as of now. We still are in the downtrend, so not too worried about that. Main thing is volume, because again, price is gonna range, or when it hits these walls, price is going to play ping pong, just like with GJ, not ping pong, pinball, whatever you want to call it. It's going to bounce, range until volume picks up. Because look what happened as soon as volume picked up. Because we saw an hour into New York, as soon as volume picked up, what happened? Huge rip down, right? That was like 100 plus pips. It ripped down for an hour. And we call it 100 pips. Huge rip down, right? I'm trying to think of another pair that happened. Euro New Zealand was a little bit different. It was volume the whole time, so it's just a gradual shoot up. But again, volume. Look at the staircase. When we entered this trade, we were in the first TP got hit here, right? After the first couple TPs got hit, retraced back to the zone. Again, didn't go underneath the zone. We can literally see right here when price hit the zone. Again, same thing, hit the top, went above a little bit, shot back down, right? Hit the bottom, went down a little bit, shot back up, hit the top of the zone, went up a little bit, shot back down, but still a lot of bullish momentum. So price broke back above. Again, still went back down until it pushed back up here. Okay, so that is how these zones work and why these zones are so powerful to trade, base your trades, and your base your entries and exits off of. I should say that's why they're so important. Because again, we see the same thing here. No volume in the markets, ranging, broke above it, came back down, but bullish momentum and hitting this wall helped to push it back up. So that's what's going on with US30. As you can see, it's still trying to push back down, but till volume really picks up, it's going to range. Volume is what causes these moves like this to happen. These moves like this to happen. This is what happens or what goes on when there's not a lot of volume in the markets. So this move very much enticed me to enter. Well, not this move, but seeing this move enticed me to enter. Seeing the stack here, then the retest, and then shoot down. This right here is what made me very confident that, US30 and them are going to drop. But as we see here, even with SPX, still in this range, back to entry, things like that. But again, like I said, all these prices move very similar. We see this is dropping. We see US30 is trying to drop, right? We see NAS is dropping. So these pairs move very similar, but they all have different price points, different zones, things like that. But for the most part, these three like to move with US30. JR30 likes to do it too sometimes, like we see it doing it here. We see this formation here. But JR30 has a mind of its own as well. So you have to keep that in mind. And we can see that when we go on the daily time frame, right? Now let's go on the daily time frame for US30 as well, so you see what I'm talking about. All right, and then let's zoom out a little. Give me 1 second. Let's zoom out a little. Now let's look at this, right? So it looks very similar, right? But we can point out some differences. One, the price points. US30 is worth 29,000 right now. JR30 is worth 11,000, 12,000. That's literally almost half of what US30 is worth. So you got to keep that in mind. But also, look at these previous candlesticks, right? Look at US30. They look very similar. But again, when we go on smaller time frames, we can see how the zones really play a big part as well. Okay, because there were some days where JR30 was dropping and US30 was ranging, and there's other days when they're all doing the same thing. There's some days where US30 is struggling to drop, and other days JUR30 is dropping with ease. So those are things you just have to keep in mind. All right. But again, you can see the similarities, but you also have to understand the differences. All right. You can see it looks very similar right here, structure wise. But with all these pairs, you can also spot the differences. But you also have to, the main important thing is these are correlating pairs. So if one is going down, it's very safe to assume the others will too. But that doesn't mean you just jump in immediately. You still want to wait for price to come into your zone points. Because again, let's look at JUR30. JUR30 is at the bottom of the zone here, right? US30, it's at the bottom too. But it was at the top right here. NAS is at the bottom too, almost about to be at the top. SPX, same thing, but it's a little bit farther underneath the zone, right? Then EUSDX, same thing, at the bottom of the zone, trying to break under. So you see similarities, but you also have to notice and understand the differences, okay? This still hasn't broken this level. It never broke this level. US30 barely did, but it did. NAS did. You can see it very clearly. SPX, very much so, right? But candle structure wise, they look very similar. So the main differences again are the zones and the price points. SPX is just worth 3,600, right? JUR30 is worth 12,000. US30 is worth 29,000. NAS is worth 11,000. All different price points, but they all move very similar. So you got to understand those things. But it looks like price is trying to drop again, which is good for us. US30 is a little bit higher into the drawdown than NAS is. It's still both, we're about the same closeness to hitting SL, but again, this is why you want to hold to SL or TP gets hit, because retracements are a part of the game. Price is going to range, things like that, very normal. And now we see again GBPCHF pushing down. And let me see if any TPs got hit. What is the first TP for GBCHF? The first TP is 0585. So let me go to that real quick. Now I missed it by a few pips, but as you can see, it's pushing down. Did a few retracements, did a few more retests, but you see it is still trying to push down. So these are good signs. So when volume really picks up, this is showing you that it can cause a rip like this, or on GJ, it can cause a rip like this, like that. Okay, so that's why it's very important to go with the trend and the trade when there is volume in the markets. And the most volume that's going to be the markets is London, and then especially New York session. So you got to keep those in mind. So speaking of which, GB New Zealand, yeah, I wanted to really see a retracement more here, but again, like I said, it stacks right here, and now it's about to try to push back up. So potentially could have potentially missed a trade opportunity there, but it is what it is because we're just an hour into London. Still plenty of time to find more trade opportunities. Still have my eye on a lot of trades in general. Just waiting for volume to come in and for my confirmation candlesticks to enter these trades. But I do have a lot of trades that I am paying attention to. The ADCHF is looking nice as well. So if anyone's still holding from yesterday, y'all making some stupid money because this went zone to zone. And again, talking about the zones, look what happened when it hit the bottom of the zone here. Shot all the way back up to the middle of the zone, this yellow line here. Then look what, and this yellow line, I had this up here a few days ago. This was from Monday's live stream, right? And I haven't touched it. This is from Monday's live stream. You can check out Monday's live stream on my YouTube, but this is from Monday's live stream. And you can literally see how when price hit here, it shot back down. Craziness how that works, right? We're 1.5 pips away from hitting the GBP/CHF TP1. And I'm liking how ADCHF is looking, so I'm about to get a signal ready for this one right here. So, in this one, I'm looking at an SL for about 63.83. So you can say 63.80, or you can round up 63.85, or you can round up 63.90, which would be right here. But I'm just going to say like 63.85, right? And again, these stop losses are strategically placed where price is to retrace. One is above the other side of the zone. So that means price would have to not respect this, but disrespect this as a resistance level and respect this as a support level and shoot back up. So if price breaks this level right here, especially this level, this wall right here, that means I am totally wrong. And it would be very crazy for price to break this level, break this right here, and then just drop back down. If it's going to drop back down, it'll be when it hits this range right here. But again, we do not want to be in drawdown and hold this trade all the way right here. Close our losses, look for a better entry where we can catch way more pips and make back that loss. Okay? That's the mindset behind all this stuff. So I'm gonna wait till the next 15-minute candlestick, but I am very much so looking to enter this as well. So don't be surprised if you see a signal for this. But it looks like it's already about to hit the first initial type of TP, which is the previous low. But again, I'm gonna wait for the next 15-minute candlestick, which is about 1.5 minutes. But yeah, it's already trying to make us move. So let me see if GBP/CHF hit its TP. Yep, TP1 hit. Okay, so off to a good start so far. TP1 just got hit for GBP/CHF, which is always a good news when a TP gets hit, right? Broke past these levels. I want to see it break past this level, especially this level here. But of course, the ultimate goal into New York session is to get to right here. And as we see, price is ripping. So we just need to break this level and stay underneath this level of price and underneath this wall right here and this wall right here. Okay. That's what we need to do. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to stay underneath this level of price and then definitely break this level of price right here. So let's see if it's going to do that or if it's going to retest, right? Speaking of retest, yeah, it looks like these are trying to come back down, which are a good sign. I should have called the SPX signal out then. Should have called that out, but I saw it retracing, and I was like, if stop loss gets hit, might as well not call another trade where stop loss will get hit. But again, you see this all live. You see what's going on, so you kind of see what my mindset is and what I be thinking about when I consider calling trades out into the signal. Because again, It's not. I'm not forcing anybody to take any of these trades, but I did start the signal room to help people out on their Forex journey. Okay. And again, you see yesterday we're 5-0. Tuesday we're 5-0 or something like that. Monday, all trades went our way. So I do try my very best to call out high quality trades with good risk to rewards, and most importantly, trades that will, of course, go in our favor. I'm not here to try to sabotage anybody at all. So main thing is price is going to be ranging until New York session. So just going to make a personal note not to enter. Well, let me not say that, because some days I do enter trades London session for SPX. So let me not say that just because today. But definitely going to wait for multiple candlesticks. Should definitely waited for that last candlestick. Because if I would have waited for that next 15, we would not be in these trades at all. But it is what it is. TP has gotten hit. And it looks like it's trying to push down some more. GBP CAD is looking good too. I like how it's looking. So ADCHF, I am about to get this signal ready in a second. So let's see what TP1 will be at. What is this? I'd like TP1 to be that. So I'm still going to put it there. Don't really care because, again, these price points are very sensitive. And like I say right here, when TP is hit, it'll either reject, like we see price did with SPX. When SPX hit this wall, what did it do? Multiple times. We see the resistance level here. When price hit this entry right here, we see the rejection. So they're going to reject it, retest and break through, like we saw GBP do, right? Did a retest of this wall right here, right? You see this wick, right? You see this wick right here? Literally hit this wall, then rejected and shot back down, right? So that's what happens. Okay. So I don't remember where I had this. I'm just going to put it right here. But that's what price is going to do. It's going to do one of those things, or it's going to do what GJ was doing all London session yesterday. It's just going to range and play in that level of price. Those are the three things price does. And those are the three things price does when it hits these price points or these walls. Hit this level of price here, one of my zones. Range. See a resistance level here, see resistance level here, right? So this is what price does, okay? And NAS, y'all should be almost back in profit. You should be back at y'all's entry or close to y'all's entry for NAS. US30 is trying. SPX should have called that trade out, but it is what it is. Y'all saw what happened when I called it on the live stream. That thing just decided to drop. Now ADCHF is doing a nice little retest. But I am liking how it is looking. So I might just have the signal ready. Main thing I'm doing right now is trying to find some price points, because it looks like ADCHF hasn't been here in a minute either. So I can't find nothing. So the TPs are just going to be. Let me see what the TPs were for. I might do them every 10 pips or every 5 pips. Let me just see what we're looking at. Yeah, I'm just going to do 5 pip intervals just to be safe. All right. But again, this is just to show you correlating pairs. They're not going to always move brick for brick, word for word, bar for bar. We see GPPCHF. Okay, it's doing a retest now, but 10 seconds ago, it was still a red candle. Okay, y'all. But as you see now, it is doing a retest just like AUDCHF is doing. Let's go to EuroCHF and see if we see the same thing. And lo and behold, we see the same exact thing happening on EuroCHF, that's happening on GBPCHF, that's happening on AUDCHF. Craziness. They're all retesting. They all have different candlestick sizes for the green retest, but they all have a green retest candlestick, right? Just like NAS is retesting as own, SPX has a retest candle, US30 has a retest candle. So again, all doing similar things, just different zones and slight differences, but there's still similarities in every trade. So definitely keep that in mind. Just like you got to keep in mind GPCHF, hit that TP. And what did I say happens when a TP gets hit, right? It will either reject or break through. This one, when it hit that TP, it rejected up a little bit, aka retraced. It could potentially just be a retest and then break back down to hit more TPs. Okay. But as of now, we see it is retracing. So that is why it's very important to also know that trades are not guaranteed. Every trade is not guaranteed to go all the way to the final TP, keyword final TP. Most trades will hit 1 or 2 TPs, 3 TPs, but they might not hit every TP. Keep that in mind. I have a lot of people that will hold after a TP will get hit and they'll just ride that drawdown or emotional roller coaster. Now, very much so, right? It could very much so retrace like AUDCHF, right? AUDCHF is a good example. Hit a couple TPs, right? Then retraced and ranged till New York session yesterday. Then it broke through all these levels, broke through this huge crazy wall right here. Then hit all TPs. That can very much happen, right? Or we can have a day like GBP New Zealand last week, right? Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, this craziness right here. Let me go back on the 15-minute because that's going to throw me off. But we can have this craziness right here, and this happened live. No, GBPJVY happened live. This happened right after the live, but all TPs got hit, right? Then look at this huge candlestick. Now, this is all exaggeration, but this had to do with a lot of the news and the crazy things happening in the last week. But just look at how big this candlestick is compared to this. So you can see, even these candlesticks, how this isn't a traditional or normal or frequent thing, but these things can happen. But what I'm saying is, this had every TP, right? Sometimes only a couple TPs will get hit. So let me go to one where only a couple TPs got hit. Okay. I didn't call this trade out, but it was a trade idea. And this couple TPs did get hit. But what happened after a couple TPs got hit? SL got blown through, right? So what I'm saying is, when you have blue on your screen and prices retracing, especially if you don't truly understand what's going on the candlesticks or confident with knowing for sure that's going to go down, secure your profits. Secure profits, definitely, because I used to do this all the time. TPs would get hit. I'd be up X amount of pips. I'd be blue. And instead of securing my profits or moving SL on profit, I'd be greedy, get comfortable, and let my screen turn red. And once my screen turned red, guess what happened? I lost money off that trade instead of earning money, right? And that's not what we're here to do. 0565. But what we are here to do is catch these pips on GBPCHF. The next TP just got hit. TP2 just got hit. So go ahead and put that out in the free signal room. TP2 got hit. And let's go on there to see what we're looking at. So look at that rip. Retested the zone like I was talking about, and it is breaking through. So now I want to see it break through this. New 5-minute candlestick just appeared. So let's go into 5-minute candlestick, take a deeper look. And yeah, so looking good. It might try to retest again here, but it is looking good. So let's go back on ADCHF and see what that's doing. It might follow its lead in a little bit. You can see a slight rejection wick. So maybe the next 15-minute candlestick in about 4 minutes will continue to do what GPCHF is doing, right? But you see again, it is right where this is, but I want to see it stay underneath here and continue to push down. That's what I like to see. But it is looking good so far. SPX and all these still ranging, but again, you can see that it's still bearish momentum, right? But it's just the lack of volume that is the issue here, okay? So that's why I said kind of was a premature entry on my part. But again, so SPX rip, jumped in on that shit, and we see it still pushing down. But again, if there was volume in the market, we'd see this going on, right? Or we see this going on. But since it's not volume, we see a bunch of ranging, a bunch of crazy wicks going on. Okay, so that's what's going on there. But GPCHF is looking good. We are up on that and the other ones. Again, just the waiting game, waiting for volume to come into play, and then we will go from there. So I have other pairs I'm looking at still. Potential ADJPY sells if the setup is there. Mr. New Zealand JPY sell. Disappointed in that, but it is what it is. Potential New Zealand CHF sales. Potentially, because again, in a huge downtrend, not going to look for buys when everything else is showing me sells, right? GBCAD is doing this thing, so I'm definitely going to keep an eye on GBCAD as well. AUD, if it breaks back underneath the zone, potentially a sell set up here. Yeah, about right here. So good little nice 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 risk to reward trade right there. And NAS should be back at most of y'all's entries. So yeah, we're just going to be ranging for the most part. I am blue on SPX, but everything else is ranging. I haven't even looked at US oil today. I'm going to keep an eye on this. I missed not one sell, but 2 sell opportunities on US oil this week. Just like gold. So I'm going to keep an eye on those as well. But when I'm in a certain amount of trades, I honestly just like to focus on those trades because it's doable, but let's be honest, it's obviously more difficult to watch 4 different charts, 6 different charts, compared to just keeping an eye on one chart. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just saying, yeah, if we're in that many trades, yeah, there's probably more opportunities, but just chilling with what we have. Because again, you're gonna miss some opportunities. So that's just reality of trading. Like on the stream, every stream I missed opportunities. We just saw that GB New Zealand, that huge move we just missed. Very disappointing. Well, let me not say that. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But that's just reality of trading. But look right here. Speaking of which, that thing dropped down. Now, am I going to enter a buy right now? No. But that is why You don't chase trades. Because again, who would have entered here? Hella drawdown, right? Even if we would have entered here, we'd be in some drawdown. So just waiting. Now we can potentially get a huge buy setup, right? And I was just looking at another pair with a huge buy setup. Here it is. So I'm liking how Euro GBP is looking. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I like how Euro GBP is looking, right? So yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this one too. Like how it's looking, showing hit these highs. Now it's stacking on top of this level of price. So very much so might be looking for a buy opportunity. But again, just looking to the left, we can see price has really just been ranging, hasn't really been going far. But you know, we can catch good 20 pips. That's still good money, right? That's still good money. Now, speaking of good money, let's look at GBP New Zealand. And you literally see it is shooting back up. So very tempting to call this out. But again, this is shooting up too. So could be because of that. But again, looking at the bigger time frame, this is a ranging market. Let me just see something real quick, actually. Just to take a deeper look at things. Okay, so okay. Interesting. So hit the reversal number, and that's why it reversed. So hit the reversal number on the fib, which caused it to reverse. Let's see what we see on the 4 hour. We have this candlestick here. Hit the 50. I'm pretty sure on that. It's a strong level right here. Retracted, broke above it, broke the previous highs. Yeah, so this could very much so keep going. But I was trying to look at it right there just to make sure, because again, this isn't a traditional trend. This is a ranging market. So I just wanted to see, look at multiple confirmations to confirm whether or not it could potentially come back up here, or if it was going to reverse on us. So that's what I was just checking out right there. These pairs are trying to drop back down. NAS is pushing, well, not say pushing, but trying to break that wall. We can see it real time trying to break that wall, which is a good sign for us. CHF's doing that. Yeah, so I like GBP New Zealand. All the other, what the other New Zealand pairs doing? Just as a quick little reference. Yeah, so I'm just gonna call this out. Yes, I entered this. I'm thinking about entering this. I have the. Let me not say I entered it because I have the lot size and everything put in. New 5-minute candle just appeared. Stacking this level of price. Yeah, I'm gonna enter this. Yeah, I just hit buy. So I bought this. Stop loss is 90. You can say 90.30 or you can say 90.25. Up to you. But I want to see it come up to here at least. Come up to here really, right? Because from right here, it's at 91.03 to right here, 91.54. That is still about 50 pips, which is good money. Even right here, that is still 30 plus pips, which is good money. Even going right here, still 1 to 2, almost risk reward, 1 to 1. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and get this signal ready. but the GBP is picking up, which is causing CHF to push. But again, it's still early into London session. Retracements are bound to happen, especially before the big move. So keep that in mind. But always, like I said, if you're not comfortable or don't believe it's going to come back down, do yourself a favor. Don't stress yourself out and secure your profits. Because what you do know is the blue number on your screen, right? So my entry, so we're going to do a little bit of retracing, but I want to see the next 15-minute candlestick. I want to see what that's going to do. So yeah. Like I said, SL. I'm personally going to put 90.25 personally. But that's just me. So okay. This one I just sent out to the members only, but those in the live stream, I did enter this trade. Like I said, I want to see it hit. First things first, I want to see it come up to here. So I want to see it at least come to about 91, like 91.10, 91, not 91.10, 91.15, right? Even 91.10, right? But I want to see it most importantly hit here, the last high, which was 91.51, but round down a little bit, 91.40-ish, right? Which would still be a good 40 to 50 potential pips here, right? So this is still a great risk to reward trade. But GBP is picking up volume, which is causing GBCHF to do its thing. But again, that doesn't mean it's going to shoot all the way up, because again, these are two different pairs. This is with the CHF, so it's all up to one, the trend, of course, and two, if CHF can pick up some strength and volume in the markets. CHF likes to take its time sometimes with volume. You can see this trade, if I didn't miss it, we'd be up on this Euro CHF pair. But those that are still holding from yesterday are really up. Let me let them know that we are in the middle of the zone. And the members in the Advanced Play Signal Room know what the middle of the zone means. They know what when the top of the zone gets hit, what that means, what the bottom of the zone, and they know what the middle of the zone means. But as you can see, Euro CHF is dumping, and we see CHF is resisting this level here, right? And then we look at this 80 CHF, we see it pushing down, right? So I like how these are looking. I like how New Zealand CHF. New Zealand CHF, well, this thing literally moves while you're sleeping, but that's not a huge surprise there. But that thing literally will sneak up on you and hit TPs when you least expect it, which isn't a terrible thing, right? But it's under the zone, which is a good sign. We're going this time frame here. Very nice. New 4-hour starts in 18 minutes, which is also good for us to see what this new 4-hour is going to do. We see it broke under. We see it's in the retest on the hour. Let's go on 15 to take a deeper look. We see that it did the retest. It's underneath this level of price. So what I want to see it do is break this level here to continue down to the downside. That's what I'd like to see. Now, SL will probably be above this level right here. Pretty chill. And I'm going to go a little bit in a second to the left to get a more precise TP levels. So everyone in NAS trade should be blue or should be back at entry. We're about 1,000 or so pips away. Well, 1,000 and some change pips away from TP1, US30. Y'all should be almost blue or back at entry there. SPX is back to where it was at originally. Let's see here. Just looking at other potential setups, but for the most part, just gonna be chilling. Probably not gonna call anything else out. GBUSD is looking kind of tempting, so maybe that, but I'm still keeping an eye on that. GBP New Zealand, I'm in that. CHF, in that. GBCAD, I'm looking at, haven't entered. 80 JPY, I'm looking for potential sells. I like what it's doing right now, but still too early to enter. But looking for potential sells for 80 JPY. Looking at potential sells for 80 CHF, as well as maybe New Zealand CHF, depending on what it's doing. But as of now, I am only in this trade, US30, and GBP New Zealand. So those of y'all watching the stream right now, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe. I don't just live stream. I also have trade breakdowns. More trade breakdowns are coming very soon. I had some that was supposed to drop earlier this week, but I didn't like how they turned out. So I'm re-editing and redoing the whole entire video so it is better quality. But yeah, those are on the way. I live stream every morning, 2:30 a.m. EST, London session. Also, make sure to hit the free center room. Join that so you know the trades that you entered when the TPs get hit. And so you know when to secure your profits. Speaking of TPs getting hit, GBP New Zealand hit the first TP. Okay, so new 15-minute candlestick, perfect timing. Going to see what that's going to do. See what US30, this 15-minute candlestick. I would like the ranging to stop, but can I control that? No. Wishful thinking though, right? I would like the ranging to come to an end. But again, it's very understandable. Just an hour, almost 2 hours into London. Volume is still attempting to pick up. Totally forgot about Euro GBP. Yep. So still ranging. Haven't entered that. Let's see here. USD. Yeah. TP2 just got hit. And again, Very simple, right? It's very simple, but this stuff's kind of confusing. Watch some of my other live streams. I do have a one-on-one mentorship program as well as the advanced play signal room. It's not just a signal room though. It is kind of like a mini mentorship program. We have 3 Zoom calls weekly. We just had a Zoom call yesterday, but we have 3 Zoom calls weekly. Also, I do exclusive chart analysis in there, as well as there's a group chat where you can contact me and talk to me directly, things like that. So definitely do suggest tapping into that, because again, I've been trading for a while. I've done all the trials and errors, been through the blown accounts, failed funded accounts, all that good stuff. So this is why I started the playbook, to help people, because again, I knew how hard it was for me, and it took me a while to figure things out, and I had to figure things out on my own. So it is very easy for y'all to see success in these markets, because you'll be able to learn from my mistakes and also see how things should be done correctly. So if you guys want to hit me up, y'all can reach out to me on Instagram, which is playmaker_way, or if y'all on Telegram, you can hit me up here. This is in the details of the free signal room. So just click the free signal room. The info is right here. Okay. You join the free signal room, first link in the description. Also have information for the advanced play signal room membership as well. And the other links. I do have a sale going on. I do have a end of quarter 3, beginning quarter 4 sale going on. So the monthly is a quarter off, and I also have a huge deal on the lifetime and yearly memberships as well. So make sure to check those out. But speaking of checking things out, GBP New Zealand is still steady pushing in our favor, which is a good thing. So let me look at CHF. That thing shot back up, which is understandable because GBP New Zealand is pushing up. And like I said, we're early into the session, so retracements are bound to happen. So it's very important to secure your profits. And it's also why I put my entries in the free signal room. Every trade I call out, I put my entry, right? That way, you guys know how I trade, have these zones marked up, so you can either hold the trade or get wicked out in profit. By entered, you have the zones marked up, the ones that for the members and my students, you have the zones marked up so you know what you're looking at. And you could potentially, again, keyword potentially, re-enter that trade. Okay. But still is under the zone, still has this wall to break. So not freaking out too much. But it's been a real interesting London session so far. TPs are getting hit. We made some money so far. So can't complain. It's always good when you're making money. But the most important thing is just patience. Don't rush into trades too much. And of course, the most important thing is, besides patience, is when you're in profit, secure those profits. Secure profits at all costs, okay? Worst thing is to be up, then lose that money that you're up, and then have your SL get hit and lose even more money, okay? That's not the goal here. So definitely when you're up in profit, secure those profits, right? Just checking out everything else. Yes, I'm just going to be watching the pairs that we're in, watching the pairs that I called out, looking at the other pairs that I see potential in, potential setups, and just going to be chilling for the most part. So any other trades I call out, if you want to know any other trades I enter, things like that, make sure you join the signal room. Keep an eye out on that. But for now, probably just going to be holding these trades. Probably won't enter anything else until pre-New York or around 6 o'clock if I see any setups, or into New York session in general. But as of now, these are the only trades I'm in. TPs got hit here. So again, like I said, how TPs work. I hope most of y'all had your SLs in profit and y'all got wicked out. If you didn't get wicked out in profit, hold till SL or TP gets hit. Don't just close because it retraced. Hold till SL or TP gets hit. Because we see right here, it's still underneath the zone and has this wall to break. So relax. No need to freak out. But just let this be a personal reminder why you need to why you need to secure profits if you don't want to deal with the drawdown. Okay. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Still holding everything. Still holding everything. NAS missed the first TP by a little bit. Again, still ranging. I don't want it to hit stop loss. I understand it's ranging, but I want it to continue to push down. Then when volume comes in, just rip through everything, which is what it's trying to do right now. So can't complain too much, but just a patience game. And we're just going to be patiently waiting. But GBP New Zealand, we're up. It's doing a retracement. It's doing a retest of this level here. Nothing crazy. We've seen this all before. But again, this is trading. There's going to be retracements. There's going to be retests, things like that. So if you're not comfortable with that stuff yet, when a TP gets hit, close. You make some money. You don't have to hold to every TP. Because like I said, not every TP is guaranteed to get hit. So if you don't see signs of price continue to push up or push in your favor, and you continue to still hold, and on top of that, you don't secure profits, you are gambling and you don't care about your money at that point. Okay. So just keep that in mind, y'all. But yeah, it's going to be the end of this stream. I'm going to see y'all in tomorrow's stream, same time, 2:30 a.m. EST, London session.